Hello, crafting buddies. It's late night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting, and I am coming to you on Sunday, November 16th at 11:58 p.m. here in Wisconsin. Let me get my devices set up here. See if I can get them to catch up with me. Maybe. How is everybody tonight? We'll have to wait for that one to catch up. This one's ready to go. Hello, Yuda. You're flying on here, I think, as fast as I am. That's awesome. I'm still trying to get my tablet to catch up with me. There we go. All right. How are you tonight, Yuda? Weekend is done. Done for me. How was your weekend? No complaints? Good. Very good. So, we have just a couple of announcements. I've got my open studio time tomorrow. Wednesday, we've got coffee and a card. The 30th, we've got to come and kit it. I've got to get my notifications out for that because it's already the 17th of November tomorrow. It's crazy. And I've got some things going on in December too, but we can cover those when we get closer. Virtual craft class, Brush with Beauty, if you've not gotten yours yet. You obviously won't be able to get the product before November 20th, but you can still sign up for the class. You can still purchase the class and follow along, get the layouts and the cutting instructions and the die cutting instructions and all of that. It should be 2 to 2.5 hours, led by a concept artist and a product designer. I think that's the gist of it for that. So if you want to order that brushed craft class, if you're not already a demonstrator, you can get it through my site, which is lorimacari.stampinup.net. It's right over here. And the order number on that is 170074. So I think that'll be fun. We'll have open studio time here for that, for anybody that purchased the class. November 25th. Hello, Donna. How are you? So, November 25th, Stampin' Up! Is doing their first ever Black Friday sale. So they'll have some things up to 40% off. It doesn't mean that everything's going to be 40% off. I imagine there'll be just a few things at a really good price. And then things usually, when they have sales like this, even like the last chance things, it's usually 10, 15, 20% off. You're wide awake. Yay, Juju. Welcome. So this will be fun. It'll be fun to see what they've got on sale for us. Stampin' Up! Is also doing a Cyber Monday sale for Paper Pumpkin subscriptions. MacMan might be watching. I'm not sure. He went up to bed a few minutes ago. He might already be fast asleep. Who knows? Cyber Monday sale on Paper Pumpkin subscriptions. This is just before the Paper Pumpkin subscription period for December ends on December 10th. Oh, yes, you should be not wide awake. I forgot you've got a horrible work week coming up. Well, maybe my calm, soothing voice will put you to sleep. We'll hope for that. All right. So December 1st to the 9th, Cyber Monday. I do not know what the discount on the prepaid subscriptions will be. But when you do take advantage of this offer, you have to take the December kit. And I did see a little snippet of that. And I think it'll be pretty. And as always, if you don't already have a demonstrator and you like what we do here, I would love to have you on my team. If you're going to be placing a pretty good size order, like $90 or more, you may as well order a starter kit for $99. You get $125 worth of product for free, and you get free shipping, and you get a free past paper pumpkin kit. And then you'll get a discount on everything else that you have delivered to your door. So hit me up if you've got questions on that. So Christmas, the paper pumpkin set for December. No, I don't think it's a Christmas set, if that's what you're talking about. Let me take a look and see if I can find it. I have not been following the paper pumpkin Facebook stuff as closely as I should. I've just been like crazy busy. It has been crazy. Either that or I'm just not managing my time well. I think I'm just relaxing more. I'm taking more naps. So let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find paper pumpkin. There is an official paper pumpkin page. I'm just looking in some of my groups. I have a lot of groups that I belong to. Let's just try to do a search. Yes. You tell me when and we'll figure out a time to make it work. And we will get you walking through so that you know where to find things. Paper Pumpkin Fan Club. There's a lot of different groups here, but I want the official Paper Pumpkin site, because I don't know if the other ones are going to have it on their pages yet, because we haven't gotten the kits yet. Although maybe some people have. Boy, there's a lot of Paper Pumpkin groups. Who knew? All right, let's go back up here. Let's just go here and see if I can find it. I'm seeing the November one that had Christmas stuff. I think it's supposed to be like boxes or something. I don't know. But anyway, let's get down to business so that we can get Juju to sleep. All right. So I had a nice surprise visit today from my friend, Linda. She is also on my team, but she's local to me. And we like to craft together and all of the things when you're friends, but we have Stampin' Up! In common, and we both taught for the college or worked for the college. She's an instructor. But anyway, she came over, and sometimes she brings over things that, you know, she's working on and just wants to kind of bounce ideas off of me. Or maybe I've got something that she needs, just a little something for a card, so she'll stop over. But she came over today, and she gave me this thank you card. And she made this, what do they call these? Breakout? Wall decor. It'll hang up on my wall, and it just says give thanks. I thought that was so sweet of her to bring that over. And the card is, it's a paper pumpkin kit, but she added some different paper. This is from a few years back. I love this paper. It was great. And then she's got a layer here that's embossed. She just mixed a lot of the elements, and I think they're gorgeous together. But she thanked me for helping her whenever she gets stuck on stuff. So I thought that was really nice. So I thought I would show that tonight in case she shows up or watches the replay. So, Tanya, welcome. Susan Johnson, welcome. And Susan, is it Melbourne instead of Melbourne? Here in the US, we would kind of say that phonetically with all of the letters in there. But I heard somebody else say it today, and they said it more like Melbourne, Australia. Bust out pages, that's it, okay. Or busted, bust out or busted? Busted, okay. Cool. I know she's made a few of those before, and I've commented that, you know, I think she made them for like family or something. Linda's the one who has traveled to Belize with me when we've done our CPR service trips. First one, Melbourne. Okay. But not Bourne, like the Bourne Identity movies or something. Melbourne. Okay, Melbourne. I will try to say it correctly. That's like in the United States. There are some places like in Oregon, which is a state. It's spelled Oregon, but locals there say it Oregon. So it's not organ like a piano organ, but anyway. So I'm going to use up a few more of these elements from this Adventure Awaits kit. I've been kind of having more fun with this than I thought I would, because this is a non-stamping kit, and you know, you think, well, what else can you do with it besides stick the pieces on and call it a day, right? And we did some of that. So let me pull out a couple of these cards that we did. So this one is basically like the kit instructions. Things are kind of popped up, and it's cute. This was another one. You know, there's vellum for the windshield in here. So that was cute. A couple of them I have already given away, and I have some more elements. So I'll be making some more things, and I paired it with an old Celebration stamp set. There might be a Melbourne in Canada, I'm not sure. Tanya, you're really hot in New Zealand, huh? We were pretty cold here. Closer to our freezing temperature than warmth. So, and crazy thing tonight, I'm sitting in the kitchen just minding my own business, and all of a sudden I start smelling skunk aroma, if you can call it an aroma. I'm sure it's an aroma to them. And Macman was upstairs, so I knew it couldn't have been him. And he came downstairs, and I'm like, why does it smell like skunk in here? He's like, because there's a skunk outside. So I went out to the mailbox to put something in there, and it smelled all nice and fresh outside. And I come in the house, and I could pick up the skunk smell that had like wafted in somehow. Ugh. So I'm hoping that dissipates pretty soon. But anyway, I don't know why I got on the skunk thing. I don't know why. I don't know why. So anyway, so here is the card that we did last night. That is a little action card because who asked for this one now? I forgot. Somebody asked for this one, and she wasn't even here last night. Oh, you guys will remember. But anyway, I thought we would do another fun fold today, and I'm going to end up using both of these on the fun fold. It's going to, Nicole, right, thank you. And is it blowers? It's Blowers, so it could be blowers, but I'm thinking it's blowers. I don't know. So anyway, we are going to start with a regular card base that's 8.5 by 5.5. You can score it at 4 1/4. We're going to need that scored eventually anyway. But we're going to make a step card. And there are faux step cards and there are real step cards. And we're going to make a real step card. We had done that Poppin' In, I think Poppin' In was the popcorn set where I did a faux one. And I wasn't real careful to make sure it would fit in the envelope, so that was a little bit of a whoops. But it worked out. But we're going to make a real step card. And they're actually really easy, okay? So I am bringing out my trimmer. And the first thing I'm going to do is on the short side, I'm going to put this in my trimmer and basically at 2 inches. Yeah, we're going to go to 2 inches. We're going to put this in here at the 2 inches here, because this side only goes to 1.5. All right. So we're going to go to 2 inches. And I am going to get my scoring blade out of the way, and I'm going to make sure that my cutting blade is all the way in here. And I'm going to put my blade, before I put the bar down, I'm going to put my cutting line at 1 1/4 and let it pierce the paper. Oh, skunk is horrible. It's horrible. It is. And don't ever walk where a skunk is like mad at you and sprays you, because you will reek. It made me sick to my stomach. Yeah, it's not a good thing. It is one of their defense mechanisms. So if they're getting attacked, they'll spray and it comes out of their backside. Yeah, it's horrible. So you're not missing anything if you don't have skunks. They're cute. I mean, they're black and white, and they've got poofy little tails. Well, they're long tails. And they kind of waddle around. And we have one regularly. I pick it up on our trail cam all the time that I've got out by the chickens. So I see one in our yard, several times a week. But it doesn't usually spray. So I don't know what scared it. Brickback, I don't know. I've never had to smell brickback, but trashweed, it's a horrible smell. And you never want to get it on you. I don't know if tomato juice really does take out the smell, but I can't put tomato juice all over my house. So anyway, so we're at 1 1/4, and I'm going to slide this down, making a slit down to 6 1/4. And then I'm going to stop. All right. And then we're going to take this and we are going to go, let's see, I want to go, I might have done that backwards. That's all right. I have my template here. We'll just go this way. All right. So let's see. Is that how I want it? Yeah, that's how I want it. There we go. So at this mark here, I want the bigger section here. So this cut is at 1 1/4 and this cut is at 6 1/4 here. So from here to here, I want to score. So I'm going to turn it sideways and we're going to put this probably at like, let's go this way because this is what I have it marked. So we're going to go at 2 1/4. All right, so let's go 2 1/4, and I'm going to put my scoring blade up here, so it's at 3 1/2 there. All right, and we're going to score up that way, and then we've already got our 4 1/4 scored here, and that one goes the full width or length of the card. All right, so this one only goes to the cut. And then we're going to score at 5 inches. And again, that's just going to go down to that slit. So down to that 3 1/2 mark, basically. All right. And then we're going to go to 6 inches. And then we're going to go to 7 1/4. And that should take us right back to the end of that slice. And what do you know? It does. All right. So I've got a score here at one end and I've got a score here at the other end. So let me get my trimmer out of the way. And I just did kind of my notes all on, they're kind of upside down, right? So we are going to have this one is going to go up. We're going to make a mountain, and this one's going to go down. All right. So the middle one, the narrow piece goes up because that's going to be the top of our card. The wide one goes down. The one right behind it is going to go up. So we're making a mountain. And then we're just going to go every other one. So up, down, up, maybe, up, down and then up. And then when we fold this, we get our step card. Let me get my bone folder. All right, and then this will be 4 1/4-ish. So I think one of my measurements might have been slightly off because I didn't come quite up to exactly where I wanted to be. But if you follow my measurements, you should be good. All right, hopefully. And I'm just gonna burnish those edges. All right, so from the side, you can see where we've got a taller one, that one's a little smaller from the bottom, and then the higher one, and then the tallest one off to the side. All right, everybody got that? So we've got our 8.5 by 5.5. You're gonna trim from, it depends on which way you trim from. So we've got 2 1/4 here to 7 1/4. Or if you're going this way, 1 1/4 to 6 1/4. Either way, it works. All right. And then here we've got 2 1/4, 4 1/4, 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 1/4. So these are both an inch, in an 1.25 inches. This is an inch. This is about 3/4 of an inch. And then this is 2 inches and 2 1/4. All right. So here's our step card. So now all we have to do is kind of decorate it. All right. So the first thing I wanted to do was put this as our front piece. Now this has a little lip on it on the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to trim that off. So we'll just trim that straight off, because that I'm going to put up here close to the edge, and we're going to glue that on there. All right. Now I want to have this at the top because it's going to fit in an envelope with any luck. It will fit in an envelope. Okay. But we need to keep this down. And what I want to do here is trim off this edge. I do not want this there. I want to get rid of it. So I am just going to trim it. Now I could use, excuse me, I could use the Everyday Arches dies. But when I looked at it last night or early this morning, I could not, in my head, figure out how to lay the die so that the rest of this wouldn't be cut, and I didn't want to just lay it on the top and maybe have lines and stuff. So I figured I'm just going to cut it with my snips. And then this, we're just going to glue right on here. Okay. And part of this obviously is hanging over the edge. So we do not want to put glue past this line. All right, so we're gonna keep that there. So we're not gonna put glue here, and we're gonna put just a little bit of glue down at the bottom. So this part can have glue, and down at the bottom can have glue. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is not going to take a lot of stress, so if you prefer tear and tape, I'm sure tear and tape would be fine. I just like to use the Tombow glue just because it gives me that little bit of wiggle room I've talked about before. Because if I'm having a bad day lining things up, I want to be able to adjust them. All right. So put that up to the top. I do want to have it straight though. All right, there we go. And there's just a little itty bitty corner there that I can kind of take off. I don't want to take the whole thing off because I want that fold there, right? And then this piece, I'm going to put in the very last pocket there. So when we close it, it's going to look like it's not lined up. But when you open it, it comes up so it's pretty much level, right? Now we could go like this and glue it that way as well. And then when it opens up, it's actually, that piece will be higher. So I'm going to put it down here because I really like it. I prefer it so that it's kind of in line when the card is sitting open, if that makes sense. All right. So again, I'm going to cut off this little lip there, and I'm going to cut off that little lip there just because they don't really serve me any purpose. And that one might have been just slightly flared out. All right, and then I'm just gonna lay that in here. And really on this layer, that's like a perfect width for this fun fold, all right? Oh, and where I got this idea is, this is a paper pumpkin kit from July of 2023. So I snatched up the measurements, and we're basically doing the same card. We're kind of casing the design or the layout, but we're doing our own design. All right, so let's go ahead and fold this back up, lay that in there, because I want to again mark where I do not want the glue to go. I don't want the glue on this part. So who puts their Christmas decorations up before Thanksgiving? If you put Christmas decorations up. I do not put mine up before Thanksgiving. All right. So yes, that might look a little odd right now, but it's going to be fine. And then your sister-in-law does, Yuta? We usually put ours up, if I'm feeling motivated enough, the day after Thanksgiving. Because I never used to have to work the day after Thanksgiving. And now it doesn't matter because I'm retired, so it doesn't matter. All right, so here's the start of our fun fold here, okay? So next, let's go ahead and start decorating, okay? Now, this one, we're gonna use, I want the truck on this back layer because the truck looks proportionately smaller to me than these other vehicles, right? So I want that one to look like it's in the background, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the back. And I think I'm gonna put it on dimensionals. This might get a little too thick for going through with regular postage, but I don't care if I have to pay just a little bit extra because it's gonna be thicker. So you decide, if you make this, decide how thick you want yours, okay? Hello, Linda. Welcome. We are using up a few more pieces from the Adventure Awaits kit. And this will probably be the last night that I feature it for a project. Let's just put him right there. All right. Now we can pretend that we've got a little boulevard, and we can put some of these trees here. Oh, I should probably put some packages in the back end of the truck. So let's put a couple little glue dots there. So we're doing a step card, if you didn't figure it out already. That didn't work. But that will. All right, so let's put this in the back end of the truck. If I left enough room, which I did, because the dimensional is right there. All right, so let's put maybe a little dimensional behind that too. So that it doesn't lay too flat. There we go. All right. So let's get rid of some of the debris. And then we want this car, I think will maybe go there. I'm gonna go get a piece of my basic black, and we're gonna add some black to these layers. I also brought over the Secret Sea. Secret Sea is just a little too blue. So yes, we're gonna do black. And I think I might take maybe a little craft ink. Maybe I'll use my jelly pen. And we'll make a line down the middle, because I don't think I have a chalk pen, or do I? I might somewhere. Let's see how this looks. That'll work. That'll work. All right, so we need this to be before I end, I should really make a blank happens card with the truck and the tree. I may have used the last truck. I may have used the last truck, Juju. Maybe I could deconstruct this one. All right, so let's see. We need this to be 3/4 of an inch, right? So let's go 3/4 of an inch. And then we need it to be 3.5. 3.5-ish. So we're going to have a multi-lane highway here, because this is going to go here. Well, how did I measure that wrong? Maybe that's an inch. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, it's an inch. Who knows what I was looking at? All right, well, let's cut another piece. 1 inch by 3.5. See if I can get this right. It's only paper, right? All right, so that's gonna go there. Now, I'm just wondering, should we put a piece of black there? Do you think that would look better with the black there, or do you think it doesn't matter with the white? Because this will be sitting, okay, it's not gonna matter because we're gonna put another car on there. All right, so let's put some little lines down our road. And then before this dries, I'm going to kind of smear them because that's how this one looks. Kind of takes the bright white away. All right, I used my jelly roll pen. All right, so let's put some glue on this little piece. And we'll just lay that right in there. Oh, you're doing a calendar now? Cool. All right, so that'll be there. And this little car is going to go there. And we'll have him partially hidden because, well, it wouldn't matter. That'll look good there. All right, now I'm just going to glue that one down because we can only have so much layers and dimension here. So we're gonna lay this flat and put that little car there. Oh, you're marking the calendar? You're marking the calendar to see how long it takes me to make a blank happens truck in the tree card? All right, so there's that. And then we need to decide, oh, gel pen use, duh. See, out of sight, out of mind. Whoop, it was gone. All right. So there's that. So that little car is a little hidden because that layer is lower. But when the card sits out, it's gonna show. It'll be good. It'll be all good. And then this car, maybe we should put some more road. Do you think we should put more road down here maybe? It'll be like a super highway. We'll see how that looks. So 5.5 by about 1.25. So if we did that there, of course I'd almost have to do it up higher to cover up that white. Let's do it. Let's do it at about 1.5 inches. Let's see how that looks. I'll do it just a smidge under 1.5 inches. We'll see how that looks. So then this little Corvette can go on here and we can do like a driving by to say hello. That can be coming out of the back end maybe. What do you think? Does that look too hokey or does it look all right? Let's do... I'm going to see if... I want to lighten up the black a little bit because it's a pretty stark black there against the other ones. So let's see if I can lighten it up a little bit. Now the craft ink doesn't dry real fast. I could probably use a little bit more. All right, let's give this a whirl. Oh, you ladies are pretty quiet tonight. Juju, you should be going to sleep though, so I can understand you being quiet. So if we do the gel pen again, if I could do this one down here maybe, and then we could put a sentiment up higher. And then also I was thinking trees in a boulevard, but this would be like the express lane if I put trees in there, so that's not going to work. We can't put them on the highway unless we have the car running over a tree. Let's just plan on kind of putting this here. And if that's going to go end to end. And let's just trim this out of here. And then I'll do like I'll do a small piece in white on here. I might try to make it similarly shaped so I can put a message on the back. So let's just figure out where we want. Just don't know how many cars we want to use on here. Those be exactly the same, so that would be kind of silly. Because that's not very likely to have the exact same car. Well, you never know, I suppose. All right. So I think we'll put our line somewhere around here. I guess that one's a little thicker. It looks more like a chalked line instead of a road line. I think that looks all right from here. Hopefully it looks all right from your end. So let's go ahead and glue that on. And I need to leave about the top eighth or so. We could probably put this tree up here, maybe a couple of those up here, like close to the highway. Oh, except then we'll cover up all the buildings. We'll do one. What do I do? Here we are. I just kind of want to use up these pieces and move on, right? Can't have it super close to the highway. That'll be fine. All right, and then there were some balloons too. What happened to those? Here they are. We could have the balloons flying up away out of here. Or we could have them in the back of the car like they were designed. All right, we'll put a couple of dimensionals here as well. Using all these little edge pieces because we can, right? We're getting there. All right, so if we put this over around here, the balloons can go in there. It's a shame that we don't have drivers. These are driverless cars. They're autonomous cars with no passengers either. Who'd have thunk it, right? They're going to pick up the next driver or the next passenger. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're all in a traffic jam and there was an accident and they're all up by the accident helping the people. We'll go with that. I guess we'll take Tesla's. Guess we'll take that one off and we'll move it down there. Too bad we don't have a little gingerbread guy. We could put the gingerbread guy in there. We'll just put him coming out of here like Godzilla. Ah! Sorry, it was just sitting there from last time. One of the last times. All right. Oh, and I don't think I want the saying down there. I think I want it up here. So I'm going to put a little bit of dimensionals just on this side. And then we'll put some glue on this other side so it's not super thick. It did say oh snap. That's from the gingerbread guy. Oh snap. All right, driving by to say hello. Oh, we're gonna do that. Where am I gonna do that? Because I put glue over there. Well, that was silly. I wasn't paying attention to where my glue needed to be. I guess it's gonna go there now because it needs to go on something and still leave the rest of this raised. All right, so we still have a bunch of sentiments. Pine tree. I could use that other stamp set and try to make a tree, a car with a tree. Crashed. But, sorry Juju, I don't think that's going to happen for tonight. But let's see here if I do. I'm just going to make my little, this doesn't look like a pile of you know what, but that's going to be my reminder. All right. So we have just a few more little pieces on here, but that's kind of cute. That would be a good card for like a guy, maybe. I could use the everyday arches and make a piece there that would cover up that piece. I could make another one for here. And then I think I'm going to use my marker. I'm going to cover this up because that doesn't look like it should have a white border there. Thank you, Donna. And then we're going to get the jelly pen one more time. There it is. And I'm going to extend that over there so it looks more natural. There. Oh, and I guess we need to do it up there too, huh? All right, there we go. That's our card for tonight. And I'm just going to clean up some of my debris. Now, this is basically all we've got left from the kit. So a bunch of sentiments. I could probably put the surfboard on this car. That just goes up there. They're going on vacation, right? Thank you, ladies. Let's do a little bit on here. Let's do some little glue dots on there. We'll put that surfboard on there. Give that a little bit more height. Let's lay this flat. So when we take the tops off these, I'm just going to fold those glue dots forward onto themselves because they're too big. But I don't have any glue dots that are smaller. So we'll just fold it forward. Make a little burrito out of it, basically. Maybe. Come on. Let go. All right. Maybe I should cut that tree in half and put the tree on top of the car. Or I could just go like that. They're taking a Christmas tree home. What do you think? Now we'll save that for another version. One more version. If I get it done, I'll show you folks, but I won't do it on a live. We'll leave that experimentation to my own time because that'll probably take a little bit for me to figure out. All right, so that's all I'm going to do tonight. Just another single card. But this was really, I thought, a fun kit. And even though there's no stamping, there's a lot you can do with it. Well, thank you for stopping by. Linda, I appreciate it. Yuda, Donna, Juju. Susan was here. Tanya was here. I don't know who else was here. Hopefully I didn't miss too many. But this was a bunch of fun little cards, I think. I think this one's probably my favorite, though. The little action card. And that will be the inspiration for a truck and a tree. All right, so if you want to get this kit, you can order from yourself if you're a demonstrator, but you can also get it from me through my online store. This is $16 US, so if you're in the United States, you can shop with me. If you're somewhere else, you need to find a demonstrator in your area. And I think that's it. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your night or your day. Juju, I hope your week isn't as horrible as you expect it to be. All right. Oh, don't get rid of my little reminder there. All right. Thank you all for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate the thumbs up or the hearts or the likes. I appreciate it when you share as well. So go out and have a great week. Do some crafting if you can. Try not to work too hard. And Juju, get some sleep. So until next time, everybody, happy crafting.